Welcome everyone to Cosmic Crit episode 42! Drew here to introduce our episode, but first a little housekeeping. We still have time in our June fan art submission contest, so if you would like to get your art into that contest, please submit it soon because you do not have much time left. Now, I think it's important to do a little reflection of the story so far here. It's an important and popular fact that things are not always what they seem. For instance, in the city of Istamek, the local population has always assumed that they were the most powerful creatures occupying the area, instead of the 8th most powerful. The second most powerful creatures were, of course, ancient holograms, who, curiously enough, had no idea the state the city was even in. They made many attempts to explain the history of their dear city, but most of their communications were misinterpreted as ancient spirits angry with their descendants. Descendants whose limited technological capacity allowed a relatively mundane medical device to create a horrific mishmash of monstrous creatures. Thankfully, though, due to the efforts of a drunk, lizard, an old man, a psychic murderer, and a mouse, the population of powerful creatures in the city was decreased by 3. As we return to our adventurers, bandaging their wounds and trying to put all the new pieces of information together, I wouldn't be surprised if they just gave up on this crusade, got on their ship, and sped off, leaving one last message for the people of Istamek. So long, and thanks for all the Kish. Cosmic Crit episode 42, Crisis on Floating Islands.
Last time on Cosmic Crit.
We explored an ancient, decrepit hospital of some sort.
It's like the Akatas all over again. Space rabies for everyone. Alindra learned the hard way that someone booby-trapped the House of Renewal.
Oof, Lindra, sorry. Thought you saw that super obvious trap. There was a diagram and everything.
This mutated Kish really wants Raimi dead.
Oh good. It's right up in my face.
Istamek, the city of zero loot.
Are you kidding? We found an axe!
Raimi and Andis, science bandits, repaired themselves a shiny new splicing pod.
As we started to leave, the chief of Istamek met us at the door.
Why don't you go pick out someone your own size? Please?
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to Pandora, where we're drilling for unobtainium, the most unobtainable resource in the galaxy. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey on this week's episode of Cosmic Crit. My name is Patrick, and I'm your GM, your Galactic Marine Colonel here on the show. And joining me are my 5 friends, getting ready to slip into some tall blue metaphors for colonialism in the form of avatars. To my left, a giant mech showdown during the climactic ending. It's Drew playing Max Zizrak.
Hi!
To his left, a huge blue alien mind-linking with a sci-fi dragon. It's Jabert playing Andis 147.
That's how I do.
Across the digital table, a xenobiologist studying an indigenous species by pretending to be one. It's Miles playing Raimi.
Good evening.
And to his left, it's Sigourney Weaver, but in a James Cameron movie that this time she's not killing aliens, but saving them. It's Rebecca playing Alindra Vallis.
Hello.
And finally, to my right, CCH Pounder is all up in this movie, and it's more like he's about to become CUB pounded into submission. It's Tyler playing Adros Varonis.
Oh, I'm in so much pain right now, my friend.
Yeah, get it? Because I'm about to beat on you.
I feel like you've turned the tables on me this week.
Avatar references, guys. That movie was filmed over a decade ago.
Yeah, I have not seen it since theaters. So
Yeah.
Every reference that you made, I was like, I don't remember that at all.
I haven't seen it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, they're planning 4 sequels, so get ready to see. Or at least 2 if they don't do good. How's everyone going? How are you doing this week?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Lovely.
I've been sweating bricks about this episode all week.
Oh,
What?
I know.
Why? No, it's fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
no, yeah, totally fine.
We should mention that when we're recording this, it's about that time of year again that we celebrate a special someone's birthday. Hey, Miles.
Hi.
Happy birthday, pal. Happy early birthday, right?
Thank Thank you. Yeah, we're recording on Monday. My birthday's on Friday. But this is the first year that we've done this on the show. We didn't have the show last year when I was my birthday.
We're still playing some like Pathfinder, I think, at the time. Starfinder was
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So do you get everything you could have possibly wanted? This is going to come out after your birthday, so you can tell us if you got everything.
I absolutely did.
Yay! Happy 60th? I don't know how old you are.
65.
Over the hill. Right, let's get into it. Let's get back to Dead Suns, Ruin Clouds. What happened last time? Where'd we leave off?
We're surrounded by Kish, who want to probably kill us.
Yeah, they're not huggers. They're more bow and arrowers.
I guess you could say the Kish has hit the fan.
Oh boy, have you been saving that one?
I have. Wow. I've been saving it like all week.
Did you write it down on a piece of paper?
I might have put it in my notepad.
Oh boy. Last week you all cleansed the House of Renewal, and when you left, you were indeed surrounded by Kish warrior hunters, and then confronted by the chieftain of the Kish of Hearth, this towering figure in the Chieftain Hoyfeq. Yeah, his war party has their bows drawn on you. Hoyfeq slammed his axe into the ground, and he looks all of you over, trying to intimidate Edros into cowering. And it's working. It's pretty darn overwhelming. He's got a couple feet on you. But he, in your face, Edros exhales a plume of air from his nostrils, these two little slits on his face. And you hear, in a language that you can understand, perhaps through magical means, he says, "Who speaks for you monsters?"
I look at Knack.
Knack, pops his neck, cracks his knuckles, and says, "Hey, big guy, let's talk."
As you step forward, Knack, and quote-unquote talk. So he grabs you with just an outstretched hand and lifts you up in the air, grabs you by your mountain yellow jacket, just yokes you up 6 feet off the ground, and says,
What are you doing here, furry demon spawn?
Well, we're just here investigating some things, and we're not demons, by the way. I'm an Ahsoki, for example, just a different creature, no demonic presence at all, really. But we are looking for something very important that we heard might be here, and we wondered if your people might be able to help us find it for the sake of saving the entire universe.
Use less words. For if I can tell that you are speaking falsehoods here before the eyes of my ancestors, I will lay you to rest among the clouds. Speak now in only short truths. How did you come to this place?
A sky cloud.
When you say that, you hear someone else say that same phrase in the group of Kish, and there's like a couple of them repeating it. Sky cloud. He says sky cloud. A voice from the back speaks up, and you see an injured Kish walk forward. The same one that you let live on the landing pad. His wounds still healing, like on one of his arms, like in a cloth sling. A couple of big welts on his head where Edros beat him about it. He says, in Kish, you can understand him, "They came in on a metal cloud, chieftain. We tried to kill them, but they were too strong. And this one here summoned the star power. She is the most deadly of them. I saw her kill my huntmate, Burjock, in one fell swoop." Hoyfeq looks over to you, Alindra, and gives you the same disquieting stare down, puts Knack down, and comes over to you.
Can I use sidereal influence? Do I have a minute to meditate?
I don't know if a minute has passed yet, but you can start in on that.
Okay.
Right now, I think because we are out of tongues times, Knack, maybe Raimi would have to translate what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hoyfeq looks you over and says,
"She is their chieftain? I would have thought it was the snake-looking one."
I can't really speak, can I?
Raimi translates for Alindra.
I am the captain of the Drift Rider. That is true. I'm sorry for the deaths that occurred. I was attacked. I did it out of self-defense. I did not realize what I was doing.
It was a fair fight, and you slew them. But that does not give you the right to defile one of our sacred sites. What you say in your defense before we send you to your ancestors.
We do not wish to defile. We came here to commune with your ancestors to gain their blessing.
We've had enough discussion so far. I like what you guys have said, but it's time for some diplomacy checks. Anyone that can, genuflect or somehow add something to this can aid in this course.
So again, can I use sidereal influence? Because that'll give me 1d6 on top of a diplomacy check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, a minute has passed.
Okay. So that'll be a 26 to diplomacy.
Okay, so Nat can easily translate what you're saying. He seems to understand kind of maybe the gist of what you're saying. The Hoyfeq is seemingly is weighing your words. He kind of walks away from you for a moment and then just snaps his sharp-clawed fingers. And a Kish woman dressed in fine clothes steps forward from back in the rubble of a building. And you see she is carrying a youngling, a very young child swaddled in cloth. Hoyfeq comes back and says,
"If what you say is true, then the ancestors will look favorably upon this one. It has become ill with the lingering chills. We brought it here to commune at the House of Renewal. One of you may escort her inside, and if you are worthy in our ancestors' eyes, then I shall rethink your sentencing of death."
So this woman walks over to each of you, and she's holding what looks like a Kish spell gem, an orange crystal that dims a little bit as she touches you, uses it up, and she's also cast Share Language, so you guys can chat up. It is this vulgar form of Kish that she is speaking, and when she gets to Andis 147, she hesitates a moment and then touches you and says, "This one wishes to accompany me back inside."
Oh, good. Patrick, is this going to involve diplomacy checks?
I cannot divulge.
Oh, no.
What is happening in the future.
Goodbye.
We're going off.
Goodbye, guys. All right, Andis nods and tries desperately to remember if you left that genetic splicer in operational form.
Yeah. It
okay,
was.
good. Oh, thank God.
What if not? You could probably take a look at it again. So you head inside with her, and as you make your way into the building, you see that indeed some Kish have formed up behind you. They've come into this door that you've cleared.
No.
But she sees the dead Eohai and is taken aback at first, but then inspects the green slime around their mouths and then spits on the floor near them. She pulls a dagger from her belt and begins to skin the beast, at least the one that still has fur not burnt off from a couple of stellar abilities. It takes a couple of minutes, but when she's done, she turns to you and says, "Warriors whose hounds fall ill often tie them up here, hoping the ancestors will heal their affliction. These Eohai are dangerous while alive, but their pelt is still useful. I shall not waste these, whom our ancestors deemed unworthy of healing. My name is Curate Fidge. Pleased to meet you."
My name is Andis. Andis 147.
Yes. There's one like you that came before and attacked the temple found. What is it that you call yourselves?
My people are called androids. We are like you, but unlike you. We are synthesized by the others.
This one that came seemed to lead the evil ones. They were ruthless in their attacks. They looked very much like you, save for their furs.
Furs?
The hair on their heads, yes.
Oh, right, yes. I forget. I'm just bald.
Just bald. So as you both walk into the chamber in which you fought the rebuilt Kish, she is pretty horrified at first, but then takes a kneeling position. The child's still in its protective covering and begins to make some wide prayer movements. She says, "These were warriors hurt in the attack on the temple found. They were brought here to be healed, but were deemed unworthy of being saved. And so they were turned into what you see here, what we call the rebuilt."
Well, in their rebuilding, I can tell you, they fought ferociously, so...
She nods, continues on, and you guys can walk into the final chamber where she places the sick infant with some ceremonial kind of movements. into the chamber. And then she goes over to the shrine on the side and empties her pockets of very shiny looking trinkets, some foodstuffs, and also lays them at the shrine's feet. And she beckons you to come over. It's over here. She says, in honoring those who came before us, we gain their strength, the wisdom of our ancestors. If you leave something here of great value to yourself, then the tradition is that you will be gifted in returns thrice-fold. I promise you, Andis 147, your faith in those who came before you is often tested, but those who believe are rewarded. Do you want to leave anything here?
Yeah, I'm looking for something that I could leave that I would actually miss, would actually be meaningful. All right, I lay my Corona laser rifle down on the altar.
You foolish fool! You've fallen right into my trap. No. So you leave it down there, and as soon as you drop it onto the shrine, your exocortex begins to fire. It shuts down your visual connections, and all of a sudden, the room goes black, and you pop back into existence, seemingly in a very far-off chamber. It looks like a classroom, and you're sitting along with students from all over, different species from across the galaxy. Holographic displays of anatomy circle overhead, as well as genetic spirals and computer calculations, taking a look at conversions and coding rates. At the front of the class is Dr. Braskin, your colleague here at this private university. He pontificates, and you can just barely hear his words. All you really hear is a wind blowing past your ears. He's given a lecture, and it seems to be maybe the subject of genetic tampering, and it looks like they are studying Vesk genetic structure. And as you see, one of the holographically superimposed images towards the front of the class is a Vesk cadaver splayed out on a table somewhere. The scene changes, and now you're back on the barren planet Calathu 7, and that wind that you're hearing is whipping through the valleys. A storm approaches overhead, and you can just barely open your eyes enough to see that it's forming into a massive black and purple cone. But as it rages on, it kind of begins to spin into itself, and it forms a massive accretion disk in the sky, hundreds of feet wide. And as it rages to a crescendo, you snap back into reality, staring down at the shrine, and it looks like you have completely disassembled your Corona laser rifle in that time.
What? I look at her and say, what was that?
In the corner, Curate Fidge is crafting something. She's like sewing some of that hide together, and she looks over and looks very surprised. She says, You have been very busy. I've been trying to pass the time as well. It will take some time for the ancestors to judge the child, but I have faith. If you've set the genetic recombinator, you are sure that it will now work 100% of the time on Kish DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look inside, it's almost over. You see the baby sleeping lazily as this green light kind of bathes it. You can tell that somewhere down there on the genetic level, whatever disease it has is just being completely eradicated.
I look back at Curate Fedge and I say, you have faith and I have science. And I gesture towards the orb for her to come and look.
So after an hour is up, she collects the babe up in her arms, and it looks a lot better. It was a bit tepid before when you had put it in.
Maybe
it had a cold, something along those lines. But she looks it over, swaddles it up again, and says, "You all have done something here, something great. In killing those monsters and ending the Eohai's suffering, you have brought great honor in the eyes of our ancestors."
It was only ever our intention to help.
I will tell the chieftain of this. You guys can continue outside. In the meantime, what have the rest of you guys been doing?
Knack, I'm bored.
So Knack has been using his tail to do the good old-fashioned Ahsoki tap the tail on the back of the shoulder, like looking both ways trick, just to try to get some of the Kish soldiers to laugh, lighten things up a little bit.
After the first one, 5 of them draw bows and arrows on you and begin to draw the string back. And it's like, trickster demon!
I mean, he's just doing it on his own shoulders. Like, somebody's, what's it going that way? Oh, something's that way.
Its tail thing is possessed. Oh my.
Yeah, Lendra's been in pretty quiet and in meditation, really just trying to stay out of the way. She's obviously feeling very guilty and like she caused this whole kerfuffle. So I think she's looking introspectively as she has been doing. She's been dealing with a lot of realization about her own actions and her own tendencies, and probably trying to reach back down and find balance within her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Raimi is just sitting on one of the steps drinking from a flask, looking very unimpressed.
So, heard you guys got in a fight with some other group that came down.
Who are you talking to? You talking to some random Kish?
I'm looking at Adros looks at the chief when he says that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to be a super talkative mood if you are trying to strike up a conversation, but you can try with a diplomacy check.
Sure. And looks like I got a 16, so actually not a bad roll.
No, this was DC 15, just to ask some general questions of him, get him talking. What do you want to ask specifically?
You guys seem like formidable soldiers. What happened with the battle between you and the demons that arrived before us?
They were invited into the temple found by some of my hunters. And there they slaughtered my people. And by the time me and my clan were ready to retaliate, they had already left. They were without honor. They were horrific. Their weapons, melted bodies. There was very little to bury of some.
I have lost comrades in my time, and I feel for your losses. We dislike these demons as much as you, and well, we are going to hunt them down, and we will bring them to justice for both your fallen comrades and ours.
As he's kind of listening to what you say, returning outside is Andis 147 and Fedge after about an hour in the curing station. She holds the now awake and mewing infant above her head, full-on Lion King style. All the Kish standing around you put down their bows and begin to rejoice, clapping their hands rhythmically, banging their axes on the stone rubble around them. With a hand gesture, Hoyfeq stands and quiets them all. He takes Fedge aside in private, kind of sees to the child, and the wounded hunter comes up as well, and they speak for a time. After a few minutes, Chieftain Hoyfeq comes back and says,
"After speaking with my counselors here, I have chosen to spare your lives. The ancestors saw it fit to not kill you, and I shall honor their wishes. But you may not remain on Istamek. My warriors will escort you back to the Lyshing Grove, and you must leave this place, departing on your metal cloud for the stars. You are banished from ever stepping foot on Kish lands again."
There's a large hubbub after he gives his proclamation. A lot of chatter amongst the hunters. A few of the younger looking ones seem to be shocked by this. And you notice they're not really reacting to him, but more a few lone figures that seem to be walking up the rubble-strewn avenue. It's Tzayl walking with a few of her attendants. A few of the hunters press up to her, escort her forward, their weapons drawn. And Hoyfeq, seeing this, says,
"What is the meaning of this? Tzayl, you are not allowed to speak at these proceedings. I exiled you for..."
The elder curate and follower of Televet interrupts her erstwhile chieftain, and she says, "You exiled me from Hearth. Here we are now equals, so I will speak however I choose. I watched you, Hoyfeq, grow from a young trapper and turn into a huntmaster, and then into the proud leader of our people. You know as well as any of our fine hunters that we must balance all things here on Istamek, for there is a fine line between life and death here in the clouds. You exiled me for speaking out, but what of Huntmaster Zavra? Rumors are he has barred the temple found and will let none in, even your own men. Is that true?" Hoyfeq responds,
"Zavra too has been exiled. He slayed several hunters that attempted to make their way into the temple yesterday."
There's another huge amount of chatter amongst the warriors behind Hoyfeq. He looks at them angrily, clenching his fists. Tzayl, relentless, continues on and says, Zavra mocks our traditions, those we were given by our ancestors that have kept us safe for generations. These finders of stars, they were sent here from above to set right what the others destroyed. I believe that they can find a way inside the temple found and expel Zavra. So confident am I in their ability that I am willing to stake my own life upon it. If they are unable to divine a way within the temple found, then I shall take the final walk amongst the clouds and vanish into the unknown. There is shouting now and alarmed voices amongst the hunters. Curate Phage audibly wails, this plaintive scream into the heavens. And even Hoyfeq seems disturbed by this prospect. So he quiets everyone again and says,
Why do you believe so much in these strangers? 2 cycles ago, they were unknown to this land. How can you know that they will be able to do the things that you say?
Tzayl shrugs her shoulders, maybe laughs a little bit nervously before coming over to you all and maybe tapping Andis on the shoulder. Sometimes you must act upon your faith. The storyteller appeared to me in a vision, and I saw one of their faces here in the dreaming pool 15 days ago. She came to me and I knew her face. She is tied to Istamek, as we all are. The ancestors know her face as I do. Tzayl leans into you all, and particularly Alindra. She says, Did the ancestors tell you where to find guidance into the temple found?
Did they?
Yes.
When
Yes,
someone
they did.
asks you if you're a god, you always say yes.
Yes,
Yes.
they did.
Yes, we found 2 old communicators, and we are able to locate the secret entrance using them.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
I
Right.
am glad that the person with an intelligence of 8 is able to remember these things. Otherwise, we would be in deep trouble in this scene.
That happened last week, so yeah, it's good we can keep 1 week of game together. So she nods conspiratorially and says, Good, then my faith will be rewarded, it seems. Hoyfeq weighs in on what has happened, 1 foot propped up on a huge boulder. He's offered words again by his advisors, but this time he just kind of waves them off, and he contemplates maybe for a few minutes, just thinking to himself before he steps off the boulder and says,
Because of Tzayl's words, I have amended my judgment. You all may stay here on Istamek, and you have until the sun sets again to secure means inside the temple. If you fail in this quest, then Tzayl must make the long walk into the clouds, and you all shall be banished. That is my final judgment on this. I shall not be moved. Curate Tzayl will accompany you as escort to assure you do not defile any of our traditions further.
Thank you for your revision. And then I look at the rest of the gang and I just hold up the pieces of my gun and I say, I did a bad thing.
oh no, that's going to stay there. It doesn't count.
I have the little keychain that I put onto the end of it that I dangle in front of them.
Tzayl kind of huddles with you. The majority of the hunters begin to move towards the north, it seems, and Hoyfeq has a few quick, very stern-looking words with Curate Phage, and then she comes over and has a few words with Tzayl, and then she says to Andis, "Come with me." Towards the north, maybe a block or so away, the hunting party with Hoyfeq comes across what looks like a painted ancestral shrine, like on one of the sides of the building, and you're led down this alleyway. The soldiers outside, all the hunters, and from a sack, Hoyfeq produces what looks like a gun. It could be some kind of weapon. It definitely has like a handle. The tip of it seems to be like a very long, pointy pyramidal shape, and you see runes carved into the side of it. And Hoyfeq says,
My curate here told me that you were instrumental in getting the child healed, and that you laid one of your great weapons at the ancestors' feet. Is this true?
It's true. I did what was required.
A warrior does not give up his weapon lightly. That is a good way to find yourself killed.
Agreed.
This weapon is one of the ancestors. I have not been able to get it to work for many, many years. It was passed down to me from my father, who found it in one of the great sites. I would like for you to have it for at least the time that you are here on Istamek still.
Can I take a look at it? Can I sort of reach out my hand and wait for him to set it into my arms, and then I sort of cradle it and turn it over, and
yeah, it's pretty wild looking. Kind of turning it over in your hand, you can tell this is a long arm of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is ancient Kish technology. You can tell it does seem like some kind of fusion between maybe like ingrained magical runes and high tech. Some of the same materials that you've seen in some of the buildings here. Very, very tough materials. So this is a weapon, maybe a few levels above your Corona laser rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Andis, why don't you go ahead and make an engineering check, see if you can figure out some things about this weapon.
I will try. Ooh, 38?
That's pretty good, believe it or not, for engineering. You can tell, yeah, this is some tech even beyond anything that you've fired before, let alone owned. And it seems to work on disruption technology, kind of disrupting the order of like molecules around a person. And in game terms, it does sonic damage, or you think it would. It seems to be uncharged at the moment. It does seem to require a good amount of power, but in game terms, this ancient Kish weapon is called a disruption rifle. If you take a look at it, you can try and jury rig a pact battery into it.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if I could try to kind of like either like tape it on and then kind of connect it with wires and then tape it up, or maybe like get two sticks if the slot for the energy source is like too big for the size of the battery.
It's a great question. Do you have any batteries with 40 charges?
Yes.
Most long arm rifles. So with your engineering check, you can indeed power it up. It looks like it takes a lot to power.
And a lot to fire.
Do you want to take it for a test drive?
I'm gonna. Well,
you want to just wait and see what happens when you get into the field?
Test drive.
Wait and see.
Well, I want to like impress Hoyfeq by like shooting it like while he's still here. So I'm gonna take a look around and look for something that nobody might care about. What's Knack doing?
You see,
Hey! Why don't you find some ancient cans? Like just
you can see some pretty thick-looking glass in one of the nearby destroyed buildings. It doesn't seem like they care much about. There's no signs of the current Kish civilization upon it.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a shot at that super tough glass.
Alrighty, and there seems to be two fire modes. It does have the boost ability, the boost capability.
Oh.
So, do you want to fire a normal or boost?
I'll take it out. I'll take it out slow first.
Alrighty, I'm gonna roll the damage. Let you see what I roll. Hopefully, I roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, so it obliterates the windows to 17 points of damage on just the dice rolls.
Oh man,
that takes up an eighth of the battery. It takes up 5 usages.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
And that's not the boosted mode?
That is not boosted.
Whew.
All right. I am going to have to spend a little bit of time getting a couple of other batteries ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can be able to swap these out when I need them.
Awesome. So Hoyfeq will wander off, kind of give you a pat on the shoulder, say something along the lines of,
"It is in good hands."
I give him the Starfinder salute.
Curate Fedge, gives a half bow, half curtsy as she leaves, and a smile
back. And I smile back, and I wave goodbye.
And you can join back up with Curate Tzayl and your other Starfinders, and she entreats you all, Tzayl. You all must away and fast, for the sun will be setting again before we know it.
Agreed. We do not want to see you make this final walk, and the best we conclude our business here and we can pursue the cult, the better. So, Andis, Raimi, now that we have the pieces we need, can you triangulate the location we need to go to next?
Sure.
So doing so from the 2 ancient Kish data pads, kind of piecing these digital fingerprints from the voice messages on them, it will require a computer check, and you guys can join forces with that if you'd like.
All right.
You know we will.
Who wants to roll?
I will hit all the buttons.
Raimi and this Science Bandits.
Who wants to roll it first? Okay, it's a Miles.
Oh boy.
I'll stop you from there because he can do it by himself, apparently.
I am computers.
So you can basically rig up on one of your data pads, just like a homing beacon to send you in the right direction. And if you match that up to some of the rough holographic maps that Galara put together on their initial scan of the floating island, it seems like the computer is directing you to the northwest corner of the island, past a large forested section to where you saw the land splinter into large chunks and float in the air, suspended in a gravitational field. Do you guys remember that corner? And if Tzayl sees that map, or if you discuss with her where you're going, she says, You are going to the Broken Lands.
I guess that's where the signal came from.
It is a dangerous place. Foolhardy young Kish, hoping to impress their peers, try to make those jumps. Our people have told stories that the buildings on those islands are very angry. The ancestors do not follow us there. They do not see our deeds. A few Kish in my memory have promised to conquer the islands, only to never return.
We'll make sure that we're extra careful.
Yeah. And it says, I'll take care of them. And then holds up their sweet new gun and is like, there's like a guitar sting behind it. Yeah.
Although I would kind of like to take a nap or something first so I can get some spells back.
So you have less than 4 hours, it seems.
Oh, that's right. We're on a time limit.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to leave now.
Yeah. How are you doing for health there, Raimi?
Well, I mean, I got myself juiced up, so I'm fine on health, but I think I'm out of my level 3 spells.
So I can tell you that you can spend time still in the House of Renewal if you want to use it for healing. Each use will take an hour of time.
Yeah, no, let's just go.
We gotta book it.
So
yeah, I think we should just.
Yeah.
Raimi is still down some hit points if you guys want to take care of that another way, but it's up to you.
Maybe he can sleep in Adras's arms as we walk towards where we need to get to.
That's not as healing as one might think. A strong Vesk's arms.
Yeah.
Quick power nap.
The armor chafes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to use a Mark II healing serum on myself.
Okay. Raimi, do you have any you want to burn, Mile?
I might have. Yeah, I've got one. I think it's just a Mark 1.
I can't remember. Did I try a medicine check on Raimi last week?
I don't believe
Or
we
was
did.
that was on Alindra.
Was it? I thought you did one.
Oh, I get 8 hit points back.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's, I think, the best use of a Mark 1 healing serum we've had on the show. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. If you need a little more, I can try it with a medicine check.
I think it's up to 27, so I still need like 12.
Oh, I could probably get you. Let's check. Okay, it's 24. I have to. Hey, it's only 20. Oh, so I auto treat deadly wounds now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 20 because
with the advanced med kit. Yeah.
Yeah, who has the advanced med kit?
I mean, I would have it now. And so,
Are you carrying it?
I mean, it's back at the ship. I'd go get it. Just give me 5 minutes and I'll go get the thing.
Yeah, no, that's something you guys can do if you'd like. Right, so you guys can head on back to the ship. Tzayl will be coming with you. Do you want to do anything else at the ship before you head out?
Can we fly the ship to the place? It seems like that would save some time.
You can, but there's not really a place to land. You'd have to like jump out and either someone leave and come back or leave it up to the goblins to fly.
Yeah, no, we'll walk. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
No, it's perfectly allowed. It's just like hovering with the ship. You walking back then?
How long does it take to walk?
Each way, probably 20 to 30 minutes. So you guys are headed to the Broken Lands.
Sorry, the Broken
the
Lands.
northwest. So it's the opposite side of the island from the...
Yeah. How long does that take to walk there?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we walk it. I mean, it doesn't seem like a significant amount of time, but...
Alrighty, so Tzayl does lead you towards the northwest, and you get to the edge of the island of Istamek, and you do see floating at various elevations off the coastline above these clouds what looks like a collection of between 30 foot wide to like 15 foot wide giant stone islands, very much like in the movie Avatar where there's floating rocks. Get it, guys? And yeah, she pulls from a small bag that she has brought with her some items, and she says, "Here you will need these." And she pulls out what looks like an electric grappling hook with some like moving parts kind of thrown together from scavenged materials, and a length of 50 foot of very tough looking metallic alloy cable line. "This can ease your way across, but I still warn to be careful, as one slip and you may make the long walk into the clouds before I do." So getting across these islands, getting into the Broken Lands, they're about, at least 20 feet away from one another. Maybe 100 feet away, you see a large chunk of island with a few buildings on it. And Tzayl confirms that's like your mark. That's where you want to get to, as it's one of the few that have intact buildings still upon them. Why does anybody have survival? Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Can do.
See if you can plot a route through these slowly drifting islands.
How about a 21 survival?
DC 20 to find your way across here. So you notice that there is a path amongst a couple of these smaller rocks that will require only about 120 feet of movement between them. About 4, climb checks amongst rocks, so a little bit of a shortcut, or 4 uses of jump jets if you guys have jump jets. So let's talk about how you guys are getting across. Alindra, are you rocking jump jets still, right?
Yeah, I've got jump jets.
You've expended some uses already today, but I think you still have like 8. So
I could also use gravity boost to give my athletics a boost.
Yep, it will not be enough to jump 20 feet or 30 feet in some instances, but if you want to use those jump jets, it's really not difficult to get across each of them.
Yeah.
Andis 147, how are you planning on getting across?
I think Andis and Knack both have jetpacks.
Yes.
Ooh boy. So you can, in just like pure flight mode with like maybe a single turn or two of expenditure, just boost all the way over to the far rock if you would like.
Can we use our jetpacks to assist anybody else in getting across these?
Fortunately, no. No, it's going to be very dangerous, and they are not made for picking up bodies in normal gravity.
Worth a shot.
If you want to just fly over there first, you can. We'll only take a single use, right?
Yeah, so I think, but what I'm going to try to do is how long is our rope?
50 feet.
No.
Let's move on here. Edros.
Sure.
How are you getting across, Edros?
Edros is going to have to make some climbing checks to get across, but he's going to look at Curate Tzayl and say, Curate, are you going to come across with us?
Oh no, I don't want to die yet, so I will stay here and I will wait for your return.
If you do want to make the trip, we do have the means to make you fly, if you so wish.
No. My adventuring days are far in my past.
And you will be safe staying here by yourself?
I can take care of myself, yes.
All right, well then.
We
will be back.
She's going to saunter off to one of the less destroyed buildings in the area and says,
Please do not take your time. The sun sets in but a few hours.
I understand. Raimi, how are you going to get across this thing?
Well, I do have that level 2 flight stone that Zero Vesh gave me.
And you're a pretty bad climber, so that might be your best choice.
Burn, Raimi. All right, so it sounds like the only one that needs to climb is Edros. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you... Who wants to go first? Who wants to zip over to the island on your jetpacks or your flying spells?
Rainy will.
Okay, and you land over there. No problem. Anybody else want to head on over with them?
I'll go.
And Neck. So back on the mainland, as it were, is Alindra and Adros now.
Yes, I'm gonna stay behind and make sure Adros makes it.
Okay.
Not that I can really help him. But.
Edros kind of looks over and goes, you can go. I'm okay. I promise.
I just need to know if you fall to your death. I will miss you, Adros.
Well, I mean, if you would like to stay and watch from this side instead of the other side, that is fine, I guess. Potentially goodbye forever.
Good luck.
And he starts making his way across.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. You're going to make basically a grenade attack roll, which at this point, all you need to do is not roll a 1, and you hit with the grappler, locks on, and you can make a fairly simple athletics check.
Cool. So mechanically, is this my thrown or my ranged?
This is a thrown, kind of like a grenade.
That's 16.
Yep. So you're able to knock onto the first floating island. Now give me a athletics check. What's your bonus to athletics?
10.
Okay, so good news here. You cannot fail. Unless the wind picks up, which it just started to.
Oh, no.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
As Adros gets ready to swing on the grappling hook, he goes, I wish I could remember the theme song to that one movie about a man in a loincloth in a jungle. I'll never remember.
I think canon-wise, that was Alindra on Castrovel, swinging through the...
Yeah, this reminds me of a time when Alindra went through the Castrovelian forest, although I do not think I will be as graceful as she will.
All right, what do you roll on that check?
Adros had a 21 athletics.
You're fine. You're all good. Just go ahead and do that again for me, that whole thing. Attack, and then
all right.
Athletics.
Here's a thrown attack. I'm going to get a 27 this time.
Yeah, that'll do.
And the athletics to go with it is going to be an 18.
Excellent. So very few worries here. No worries at all. Can everyone make a perception check for me?
Oh, by the way, I jumped across seeing that Adros was successful.
Okay. So you get maybe 3/4 of the way there, Alindra, and you do hear him a pretty easy time making his way, climbing slowly, steadily. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Knack and Raimi, as you're on this other island, you see it's fairly overgrown. Doesn't seem like there's anybody here. Actually seems pretty quiet. But, of course, as you're making your way across, you see Adros climbing, and you two see a black shape behind a cloud bank, and it suddenly burst through, a winged creature, speckled with eyes covering its body and its leathery wings, and it has a massive, sharp beak. It lets out an ear-piercing screech and is already upon you, flying at over 100 feet in just a few seconds. We're in combat, and I need everyone to make initiative rolls.
All beans.
No, that's not good.
No, it's very not.
Oh, I mean, this is bad. Guys.
So
no.
Here's what things are looking like. You're on these islands, making your way across. On the far kind of northern bank is where Andis, Raimi, and Knack are. We are in initiative turn order. We rolled before we started this evening already. So this winged beast is coming in from basically the southwest from where you guys are. And in this surprise round, it moves in. And the top of the surprise round, Knack, you see this thing coming. Looks like over 100 feet away. And you may make a move or a standard action, Drew.
This is such an interesting question that I gotta do some calculations here. Ow, I was in the better position before it moved down there. I open comms to everybody and say, guys, heads up, there's something over there in the distance. I can't quite make it out. And I'm stupidly going to jetpack back over to where Adras is.
Well, it was good knowing you. So in cruising mode, if you would like, you can get there, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to leave you flat-footed and off-kilter until you touch down, I guess. Next in this surprise round, it moves in a little further, and Remy Quindar, it is your turn.
Oh,
well over 100 feet at this point.
I am going to supercharge my weapon.
Ooh.
My doodad.
You actually have to say which one you're using.
My X-Gen.
Okay, so that's a standard action to cast that. The regular turn order, it is flapping and it's looking at all the different targets amongst the floating islands here. And we're back to Nakfeldspar.
Okay.
You've jetted on over to Idros. What do you want to do?
So you mentioned being off-kilter and flat-footed, but according to the Ahsoki description, because of that fun tail we have, we do not gain flat-footed condition when we're off-kilter, and we don't take any penalties for it.
Sure. Jetpack, if you're using cruising mode, though, just those are separate things. Flat-footed, and I think it just will end at the end of this turn. Being a Ahsoki, still hard knock life.
Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna, because there's not a lot I can do from here. I'm gonna move up here just to get a little bit of a cleaner shot. I'm gonna quickly pull out my semi-auto pistol. Everybody, get him! That's right there! And I'm gonna fire my semi-auto pistol.
So you've moved up right behind Edros, so two targets now.
No, am I not, because it has two targets now. I see what you're saying.
Correct.
I know. I'm taking.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why? Adros just looks at you. And you can just see in his eyes this like bitter disappointment because you jetpacked over and he was like, my hero, Nakfeldspar. And now he's just like, oh.
It's a natural one, folks. I don't know if you could tell from my way too mirthful.
Put my glasses back on after throwing them across the room.
It's like we haven't had this in a while, this crit fail generator, the deck that is on our website, cosmiccrit.com. You can play along with these fun fan-submitted crit fails as well. This one is a ranged attack submitted by Rabbit. It's called Probably Sprained It. As you fire, your wrist spasms. Can you go ahead and roll me a 1d4, Drew? What'd you get?
That's a 3.
Alrighty, so you drop your weapon. Now this is going to be a random square around you. It could fall off the island. Roll me a d8.
He is on the edge.
So much.
You don't want to roll a 1 or 2 or a 3. I'll tell you that much right now.
6.
Hey. So it falls like right in front of Edros. As the recoil is too much on this semi-auto rifle or pistol. That's your turn, correct?
Yep.
Edros Varonis, we're on to you. This thing is flapping its way over in your direction, it seems.
Adros kicks the pistol into the clouds. Nope. Adros is going to just move up towards the edge of the island, trying to get in between the patches. This kind of looks like a sharp wing.
You might know that as a player, but
yes,
I don't know if your characters know that. It is a creature from the Alien Archive out last year.
Adros definitely has never seen one of these.
That's what it looks
they are very, very cool. If anybody has the Alien Archive at home, flip it open. Look at this thing. It's beautiful.
The eyes.
I'm going to try and... It has many eyes. But I'm going to try and get in between Nak and this creature. And I am going to go into total defense.
Total defense. So as a standard action, you're turtling up.
I'm going to go full turtle. I'm just kind of hoping that I can hold my ground, draw the sharp wings attacks while my allies rally and get into better positions.
That means it is Alindra Valis' turn.
All right. I'm actually going to hold my turn and see what it does.
Okay. So on its turn, This thing is flapping in your direction. Neither Knack or Edros have put any damage on it, so I'm gonna flip the old coin. Low, it's going low and going for Knack, and high, it's going for Edros here. Roll a random dice. Obviously, it's going for Knack. Sisrak. So it flies over your head. And as it does, it comes down and with this massive beak just like pecks at you and continues flying on. It moves right past you in a spring attack. It's going to make a KAC attack roll. What is your KAC, Drew?
My KAC is 23.
Okay, so I have hit with its claw attack. It's doing some piercing damage, only 17 points of damage. And now it is about halfway between the island where Alindra is and where Knack and Edros is, and we're back to Alindra's turn.
Okay, I'm going to herd photon attunement, and I'm going to use my sonic pistol.
Okay.
So 14 to hit.
Ooh, no, that's going to be a miss. Sorry. And Andis 147 back on the larger destroyed floating island with Raimi still. What do you got, Jabert?
Did I get a sense of what the range was on this weapon?
From your shot, you can more than likely tell with that in your engineering check. It is fully effective within 50 feet.
Oh boy, this guy is looking like 50 feet away. That's not close enough, is it?
Nope. But you can step forward onto the very tippy edge of the island to get a little bit closer and take a shot.
It really sucks. I need all of my move actions.
I mean, you could take a shot. It's -2.
And you've got +2 from Get 'em, so it's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, I'll target for now and take a shot.
Alrighty. Targeted.
Hang on a second. That's a 30 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So 3d8 on this bad boy.
It's gonna be very nearly max damage on that. That's gonna be 27 points of damage.
Oh no, I don't like that at all.
As I
Nice.
27. Okay. Woo. So first damage being put on this thing, you fire the disruptive rifle in its direction. You can see molecularly it just blasted backwards, nearly dropped out of the air from this kind of concussive force. And that is your turn. It takes about 10 of its eyes kind of like dart in your direction when you land that hit.
Oh no, somebody else hit it.
We're on to Raimi Quindar. Yeah, only damage this turn.
All right, so it's a level 1 spell for a supercharged weapon that adds 2d6 additional damage.
Okay, so yeah, you cast it last round.
Yep.
You got a little bit of a boost. You making an attack?
Yep. It's a 26.
Ooh, that's a hit.
For 36 points of damage.
That's so much damage. Woo, that X-Gen gun and boosted. That is all right. So now I've got a couple targets maybe for next turn because you guys are both putting on a great deal on this guy. That is the end of turn 1. Back to the top of turn 2. Drew, Knack Feldspar.
Get 'em, and I'm gonna let me scoop up my semi-auto pistol one more time off the ground, and get 'em, and I'll shoot it with the semi-auto pistol one more time. Not that much better. That's an 18 to hit.
No, it's still gonna be a miss, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh boy. Edros Feranis.
Here's what I would like to try and do. I would like to try and use the grappling hook to grapple onto the creature.
So I will allow it as a combat maneuver. Yeah, it'll be like a thrown weapon trying to make that combat maneuver.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that.
I will roll my thrown weapon attack. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a good idea. It was a good idea.
Ooh, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Total with a 12 is going to be 18. That ain't going to do it.
Well, 20 with Get 'em.
Oh, 20. I guess 20
with Get 'em. No, we're still like 10 short. you catch a whole lot of cloud, and it would have been awesome if you had grappled and rode this thing. You know, the settlers used to ride these things for miles.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to try again.
Oh, great. Another wasted turn. Okay, and we're on to its turn. It's got a couple of targets now, Andis and Raimi, that have nearly destroyed this thing with these 2 massive shots. High we're going Andis, low we're going Raimi. Going for Andis 147.
Oh!
Coming in, swooping in, this large creature, and is going to fly again right past you over the island here. And it's going to make that spring attack. Comes at you. This time it's actually going to throw a claw in your direction. These winged claws. Okay, I've rolled a 17 on the dice, which is a hit. Claw is... Ooh, this is slashing damage, so a little different from its beak. Same damage dice. All right, minimum damage, so 15 points of damage.
Whew. All right.
And that is its turn. We're back to Rebecca, Alindra Vallis.
All right, so I'd like to jump jet over to where Andis and Raimi are. I can see that they are much more of a target than Adras and Nak are, so I'm going to continue on across.
So it's 30 feet. You can just get to like the very tippy edge of the island. Yeah, it looks like right here, right next to Andis, just barely hanging on to the edge.
Okay, great. Can I Stellar Rush? Was that a move action?
You would be able to, but it looks like Andis might be in the way.
Right.
In the way.
All right.
You can take another movement if you want and get up upon it.
Let me do that. Let me see where I want to go. I'll move right up next to it, but out of the way of the people shooting at it, hopefully.
How high is it flying?
I think at this point it's only about 10 feet above the ground. And that brings us to Andis 147. This thing has just clawed you, flown past. It's about 15 feet away now. What would you like to do?
All right, it's up close. I'm gonna boost this thing and see what this baby can do. Wait, am I? Is this thing get-emmed?
Yes.
Oh yes. All right, I'm gonna boost this supersonic, super duper rifle and let her rip. All right, that's gonna be 25 to hit.
Against EAC, that's a hit.
Yes. All right.
And it does 48 on the boost. So 3d8 plus 1 Mo.
All right, that's going to be 25 points of damage.
25 already.
Nice.
Alrighty, it's still up, but you take another huge blow to its chest. Its wings kind of reverberate, and it actually just, as a free action, just drops to the ground and is like hanging on to the rubble around here with its claws. It's on the ground now. Raimi Quindar, we're on to you.
All right. So Raimi's going to take another shot with his gun, his X-Gen gun.
Got it. So it's the same thing. It's about 15 feet away from you.
It's 26.
That's a hit.
So that's 17 points of damage.
Already, another couple holes blown in its wing. You see some of the eyes close, never to reopen as you've nearly shot them out. It's like that game at the fair where you have to shoot the star out with a gun.
Right.
Like, pew, pew, pew. And that takes us to the top of turn 3. We're back to Drew. Max is wreck.
Can I jetpack all the way over to the island where they're on?
Right. So that is the full flight mode. Take a full action to get there.
I could get here and then I'm just gonna go over to this little island once again. Get them semi-auto pistol.
So getting over there is going to be your full turn because the jetpack is 30 feet per action.
Nah.
Yes.
If it's
yes,
a full
yes.
action, then I'm going to go ahead and move all the way then.
Got you. And so you're back on the island with Andis and Raimi. That brings us back to Adros Veronis. Tyler.
So Adras is on an island by himself, far away from everything.
Yeah, it looks like the fight kind of left you behind. I honestly more expected this thing to just be attacking the lone single target, but you guys have effectively drawn it away from your party tank.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like the fight's going to be over, but I guess Adras would just start trying to make his way to where everybody else is. So, can I throw my grappling hook at the next landmark?
Go right ahead.
All right. Boom. Thrown weapon. 29.
A hit, and you can begin to climb your way over. It will take you a little bit to get to this next island.
Please don't attack me while I'm in the middle of the two islands.
Well, only if everyone else misses on the next turn. Then it's like, oh, look, a hanging snack.
Please, guys. Please hit the creature.
Speaking of which, it kind of moves forward slightly, and now it is within range of both Alindra Vallis and Nak Sizrak, and it is making a multi-attack. Within range of Alindra, sees a tantalizing target before it, and it's going to multi-attack, which means it's taking 3 attacks against her. Its bite and its 2 winged claws come down on you. And I'm going to do the bite attack first. What is your KAC?
23.
Ooh, its bite misses.
Yes.
Nimbly dodge out of the way, and I'm going to throw a couple claws as well. First claw is a hit. The second claw is a hit. 2 hits with them claws. Ooh, 1 max damage. The other, very close to it. Yikes, yikes, yikes. That is 46 points of damage from these 2 claws. Ooh, yeah. Yikes, I rolled very high. So it's ripping into you. That's slashing damage, mind you. You do still have your electric armor mod on, correct?
Yes, so that's a 1d6. 6, yay! Damage
you can roll max damage too.
That's right.
Oakley dokley. And I've marked that down, bringing us to your turn, Alindra Vallis.
All right, still being right next to this thing. This is the 3rd turn, is it not?
I believe it is.
Yeah, so I think I'm a little close to Andis right now. So
You could guarded step to the north.
yeah, I am going to guarded step just a bit to get away from Andis.
Alrighty, so exploding.
Yes,
A
supernova.
fiery corona. Ooh.
Supernova time.
So reflex save for this thing. It is very nimble, being a flying creature. So I'll roll its reflex. Natural one.
Yes!
Awesome.
Failed.
That's what I like to see. All right, so that's going to be 30 damage then.
Alrighty, and in a fiery, star-like corona, you explode this creature. It falls to the ground.
Yes!
Awesome.
We're out of combat. Yeah, it did not have that many. I think it had 26 hit points left, so 30 will drop it.
All right, now let's cheer Adros on as he continues toward the fight.
Yeah, Patrick, can I make another throw to try and get my grapple onto the mainland?
One last check, yes, and everyone is there being very supportive.
And as it has become customary, we'll do 24.
24, yeah. So you're able to get across, join up with the rest.
Good, because I got a 15 on the athletics check. So
Yeah.
no problem there.
DC 12, so you're doing pretty well with those. Right, you guys are all back up. What do you want to do?
I want to know about the hide on this thing. Can we inspect it?
Well, yeah. So, does anybody have a life science check to roll? See if you find anything else out about this creature. If you know what it is, what it could be. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Raimi, Quindar. It is indeed a natural creature. This does seem like a variant of something you have seen in the Pact worlds before, the aforementioned Sharpwing. This definitely has a different build to it. Perhaps they were spread across the galaxy at some point in their distant past. So this is like a offshoot of a genetic tree, but definitely has a lot of the characteristics of the creature that you've seen before from Abalon in the Pact worlds. Unflankable, the Sharpwing is just covered in eyes, and you know for a fact that it is indeed used in the creation of a biotech augmentation called an OcuCloak processor.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
So an OcuCloak processor, biotech that a lot of soldiers implant in the brainstem, and it basically, when attached, is wired to a technological cloak that you must wear. And so long as they're both worn, installed, and functioning, you are you gain the universal creature rule, unflankable. So you cannot be flanked. AKA eyes in the back of your head.
Ooh,
That's considered biotechnology,
nice.
so there's not a number limit on how many types of thing like that you can have.
Let's just throw the whole body in the null space chamber and move on.
That's great idea.
I think it's like just certain parts of it you have to harvest it. You don't have to slug 800
Just cram the whole thing in there.
I mean,
your bag.
just cram it in there. We can. It'll be funny because when we see Chief, when we see the Chief again, we can just be like, "We brought you something," blah, and just like throw it out.
Put it in the gloves of storing.
Imagining like Mac like jumping up and down on top of it, just like scooching it back into the hole.
So do you guys want to continue on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, of course.
Right. So you see a path in the stoneway leading through a rough, tall grass. towards the entrance of what looks like an overgrown, very drab-looking, kind of grayish building. It is fairly idyllic scene as the sideways rays of the star in the system are casting shadows before you and warming this blue and green grass mixture that seems to be giving off a fairly sickly sweet smell. And you see small insects kind of pulling nectar from exotic looking flowers nearby. It's quite nice here on this island, actually.
Oh.
As you get closer, though, you take a look at the structure. Why don't you give me another life science check?
Okie dokie.
Jeez.
33.
Oh, you guys both know so much. Both of you, inspecting the structure itself, can tell that it is overgrown with what looks like a white webbing. And on closer inspection, it seems like every inch of the superstructure of the building is covered in like a mold of some sort, this white filament. And Raimi, you're able to surmise that, like any mold, might be bad if you breathe it in.
Mm-hmm.
But Andis, taking a look over it, it seems like it's not like a few colonies. It seems like one huge supercellular structure that's a singular creature that has overgrown this building because it's completely covered in it. And when you touch it in like one space, you see it kind of react 20 feet away as these fine tendrils begin to vibrate like, ripples going across a pond. So this mold swarm is massive and large enough that it might have some forms of defensive capabilities if made angry.
Okay. So don't touch that at all. It might have a defense mechanism that we don't want to trigger.
Also, we should probably put on our helmets and get our environmental protections up.
That's fine. Do you guys all want to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys think that's best, okay.
In addition, why don't you, as you're taking a look at the front door here in front of you into the building, taking a look at the walls itself, give me an engineering check.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Oof.
So it looks like, Edros, Raimi, you're pretty sure, this building's fine. But Andis, you rolled a 30?
That's the one. Yeah. The very same.
So you can tell that the mold itself is acting as a kind of structural support, holding a lot of the weight of the walls as well as the ceiling up in this thick webbing. And it seems to be covering the front door. And if you kind of push on it, it seems to be jammed shut, doesn't budge. So you try to open it.
Can I think of any organisms that would be similar to this and sort of things that they might attempt to avert or dislike? I guess it's like a fungus. It doesn't really move around a lot.
Give me a life science check. See if you can find anything else out about it.
Oh, one more. Give me a good one. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 30.
Okay, yeah. you can find out one piece of information because this is a fairly odd occurrence to see something this large as one single organism. So you want to know about possible weaknesses or
weaknesses or I don't know, things that it hates. Yeah, let's say weaknesses.
Things that it hates. Well, it definitely acts as a plant, but you also know that if you were to start beating on this thing, it has swarm immunities as well as defenses. So you attack part of it, and it doesn't really matter because there's 10 million other pieces. So while it's spread out like this, you can just kind of whack at pieces of it, and it it'll be like a little piece of your fingernail being chipped off.
Oh, I see. So we could sort of hack a way through without worrying about the building collapsing on us.
Yeah, at the very least, you think you can force the door open, and it'll more than likely be okay.
Do you think we ought to explore the outside of the building a little further around?
This seems like the main entrance in front of you. It does seem, if you take a look around the sides, though, to be completely overgrown on every inch that you can see.
Okay.
Why don't I use the plasma doshko and I'll just cut a nice little hole for us and then break down the door?
Yeah, so it just seems stuck. So it would just be strength if you want to kind of force your way in.
Alindra, help me break down this door.
1, 2, 3.
Heave-ho.
A 1, a 2, A 3! Oh, that's a melee attack. I'm very sorry. I critical hit the door! I critical hit that door! I smash it with my Doshko with power!
Oh boy. Oh boy. So you guys are you both put your shoulders into it. You're each able to get open about half the door, and it makes this sound, the tearing of the mold spores. It's a very wet, smacking sound, kind of like, I don't know, you just stepped on a grapefruit, just going, And as you open the door, begin to file in, I need everyone to make a perception check.
Oh no, am I the highest perception? Oh, Raimi tied me. Whew.
Yeah, and if it's site-based, I actually...
Oh no, Alindra got a 27. I had to scroll up. Oh, yeah. Thank God. And anytime I'm the top of the perception, I'm terrified. Oh, good. Okay.
All right, so as you guys are making your way in, you hear what sounds like a kind of a rhythmic cooing sound coming from the top of the roof. And here in the back, Raimi, you see two creatures emerge from the top of the building, from the roof. It seems like they are likewise tearing away from the moss. It seem to, they have some lingering threads of the material on them. They look giant floating gas bags, kind of similar to in the Pact World's Barathu, but maybe a little smaller, sickly green color. And as they form up on top, about 15 feet above you, they hurl in your direction. Looks like a dirt ball, cannonball sized, and they're gonna make a couple quick attacks against Raimi. Pew! Roll a 4 on my first attack and a 7 on my second attack. Both misses. Yeah, you dodge out of the way.
Yeah, I do like a little Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, it's kind of like softball-sized projectiles that they're just lobbing in your direction. We are in initiative turn order. Why don't you guys go ahead and roll me initiative?
Somebody's hacking my dice.
Oh boy, woof.
Alrighty, so in initiative turn order, we're just going to go in random, straight into turn 1 here. Raimi Quindar, these things have fired a couple of, as you see them on the ground, they look like dirt and rock pellets. They smell pretty bad. This thing came from inside their mouth. It is your turn. What do you want to do, Mile?
Well, that's gross. So I am going to shoot. So I'm kind of standing a little bit on the other side of, I guess, the wall as the rest of the team. So there are 2 of these guys closer to my teammates, kind of in the north of me. I'm going to fire at the one on the northwest, closer to Knack.
Yep, there's like some above their left shoulder, some above their right. Going left, go ahead and you attacking with the heavy weapon?
Yes.
All right, make me that attack roll.
Ugh, missed.
Almost as low can be. Yeah, 3 on the dice. Yeah, so you shoot in its direction. It gives that same odd cooing sound back at you. And next in the turn, we're Alindra Palace. You hear Raimi opening up out there, and you heard this odd alien sound out and above you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to move back outside, a little farther out, and use my Corona laser pistol at it.
Which one, left or right?
The right.
Okay, go ahead and make me that attack.
It's a 15.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be missed too. 2 misses, taking us to their turn. These creatures going to do the same odd attack with these large pellets. It seems like they're throwing out. One's going to go to Alindra, 1 to Raimi. Alindra first. I'm going to roll well one of these days, but not today.
Probably against me.
Both of them missed. Knack, Feldspar, next in the turn order.
Can we tell what these things are?
Identifying these creatures is a life science check.
My life science is fleeing, but I'll give it a shot. It's a 13.
Yeah, not too sure. Never seen anything like these before.
Well, I guess I better kill one then. I'm going to whip out my Corona laser pistol, specifically the one on the left I am targeting, and get him! Say 29 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
For actually 31, for 8 damage.
Alrighty, yeah, you score a superficial hit on the outside of its body. Its skin kind of ripples from the burn mark. Looks very hurt, and we're on to Adros Veronis.
So Dross hears the kerfuffle outside, and he's going to take a guarded step outside because he doesn't really know what's going on, and sees these creatures. How high are they off the ground?
About 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, can't reach him. So he's going to spend another move action, and he's going to bring out a rifle, and that'll be his whole turn.
Oakley. That takes us to Andis 147.
Let's see. Andis is going to do something very original. They're going to track the one with Get 'em and shoot it in the big old sack meat.
Gross. Okay.
I don't know. You're the one who's telling us it's throwing weird clods of stink at us.
Guys, I didn't write this AP.
I know you did, Patrick. I know you did. You said I'm gonna make these special monsters that throw stink dirt. All right, sonic boom shot. Oh gosh, you know that thing throws stink dirt. Interesting. Let's see. So that's gonna be is it getting cover from Edros? Or is it like at a high enough angle that...
Yeah, 30 feet in the air, no cover.
Cool, awesome. So that's going to be a 22 versus the AC.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right, for 21 points of damage.
21. Okay. Yeah, you lay into this thing, their new disruptive rifle, a goody amount of damage. It is blasted against the wall of the building. And it's still up, still flying here. And that brings us to turn 2. And the top of turn 2, we've got Raimi, the opposite of the last fight. You're at the top of the turn order. What you got, boss?
So I am going to take another shot at the monster I was shooting at before.
Alrighty. Oh no. Even with a get 'em on that one, that is still a miss. Oh, so close. But so far, still 2. Close to a 1, but far enough away. We don't have to pull out that crit fail. Next in the turn order, Lindra Valis.
With it still 30 feet in the air, there's only so much I can do. I would climb on the building, except that I don't want to anger the mold. So...
Yeah, don't get that mold angry.
I know. It's probably very angry when you step on it. So I'm going to use my sonic pistol, the one on the left.
Okay, the one that's been hit a few times.
Yeah, so that's a 23 to attack.
That is a hit.
Awesome. So that's going to do 9 damage with my photon attunement.
Okay. 9 damage. Alrighty, and on its turn, their turn, this one that you guys have hit a couple times just floats around the corner behind the edge of the building, and you hear it move about 60 feet. It's gone. That one is. This one to the right, it's not taking damage yet, is going to fire. Why not? Let's fire a couple of these gross pellets at Knack. Hey!
What?
18 on the die. There it is. That's 1 hit. And the second, I think, is going to be a miss. What's your KSC again? That's pretty good, right?
KSC's 23.
1 hit only. And I'll roll some damage. This is bludgeoning damage as you're hit with this small cannonball-sized packed orb of dirt, and who knows what else.
Yeah, stink dirt, I think, is what we decided on.
Max damage, so that is 11 points of damage. And it's your turn if you want revenge, Mac.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said, and it's your turn. And it's your turn.
And
sorry, I was a little confused. I was going to say, wait, I think it's my turn.
Who's on first? No. What's on first?
Andis and it's. So I am going to, once again, get him, Corona laser pistol, this pronking, mudball slinging stink monster, green monstrosity.
Yeah.
Say 25 to hit.
Spoiler warning, it's not stink ball. These are excrement pellets. So 23, that is a hit.
I mean, I got that from the stink ball.
All right, good. I just want us to all be on the same poopy page.
So that's
8 points of damage.
So that's a whopping 8 points of damage.
So much for you. Why are you dissing that? That is your turn at Drosphoronus. We're back to you. You got your gun out. What you want to do?
Yeah, he's got his gun out, and this guy is not getting cover, even though Andis is in front of me because he's so high up, which is awesome. So, shooting away. Why not?
Single attack?
Nah, 2 shots.
Alrighty.
First shot. That's going to be a 22.
That's a hit.
That's 14 points of cold damage.
Cold damage, yeah. The Sierra Line rifle. All right, second attack.
Bam! Oh, Patrick! Oh no!
Oh.
Ah!
What did you get?
Tyler, what did you roll?
That's one of them cosmic creams! Hashtag action!
Excellent. And this is the point where I get to shatter one person's dreams once more, in that these creatures are amorphous and are thus not affected by critical hit damage, but you do get the critical effect. So this gun has a staggered effect. Tyler, calm down. It's okay. You still rolled a lot of damage.
I hate Istamek.
Stupid. This is so stupid. Oh, hey guys, rolling those natural 20s. We're just gonna take that away from me because happiness is overrated.
I'm pretty happy right now. So
I'm really happy. I'm glad.
It
glad
is.
you're happy.
What's the critical effect? Oh no. It's staggered, right, for the cold.
I don't know. Is it? I see you roll the
it's
natural 20. So
staggered.
is it? Or just stick its little poop tongue out at me and be like, oh, I don't really care.
So the good news is
Is it also immune to cold damage, Patrick?
no, but that'd be great.
Yeah, it would be.
All right. That's your turn. And it's 147. What you got? That's a lot of damage. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring us home here.
Okay.
I'll take one shot, and if I drop it, then I'm gonna take 2 shots. But if I drop it on the first one, I'll save my ammo.
Yeah.
So,
Take your finger off that trigger.
yeah. All right. That's probably gonna be one of those hits. That's gonna be
29. Yeah, that's a hit.
yeah. 27 to hit. That's gonna be another 21 points of damage. Still up.
It is indeed. It is hovering. Like it's like slowly falling to the ground. It looks really hurt.
All right. Here we go. Oh, another one. Yes! Another 27 to hit.
Yeah, so you obliterate it with that second shot because it had all of 7 hit points. It explodes into chunks of meat that they don't smell great, and they cover about a 30-foot wide area around the creature. And paint the walls of this building a greenish blue color. And we're out of combat.
Hey, Andis, next time, maybe, is there like a toned down setting on that gun where you don't blow up the stinky creature?
Well, I mean, there is a out of ammo setting on the gun.
Oh.
Lucky you, I've just hit it.
Oh. Would you like to shoot? Would you like this gun? And he's got the frostbite rifle.
I'm gonna go ahead and patch up another one for this one for the moment. But if you'd like me to hang on to that, I will keep it at the ready to toss to you.
Yeah, it would be. I have a machine gun in my gloves if I need it, and
of course.
I would.
Yeah, I forgot about your glove guns.
Yes, my glove guns are pretty awesome. But you should hold on to this. I don't want you to run out of ammo mid combat and be in a pinch.
Thank you, Idris. And I wink.
All right, so ammo distribution complete. Do you want to continue on into this building?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yes.
we enter, and I look around with my dark vision.
Opening the doors up, it actually fills it with a good amount of the setting sun's light. So we're in dim light in this room. You see a carpet of this pale white furry mold covering almost every square inch of the inside of the room. The floors, the walls, everything seems like it was unmoved and just grown over. Where there might be chairs and along the western and southern walls, you see nothing but this mold. They're now furry chairs. The table to the north has a growth of mushrooms that has covered the desk from the main entrance, and there's a few cabinets nearby that. And to the north, a large door that leads onward with a sign overgrown with moss. Words underneath it you cannot make out. That's what you see.
I'm going to try to wipe the moss away from the sign and read it.
It does indeed give way. You have to break off a few branches of the mold. But clearing it, the sign reads in Kish, "To be continued."
There it is.
Next week, we will go into this building. We'll see what we find and continue on with the adventure. But unfortunately, bad news, guys.
Oh no.
Yep, this is the last time you will ever be level 7 in this AP. We're moving on to level 8.
Man, I liked being level.
Sorry, Miles.
I know. Don't worry, you'll be level 7 again someday.
We're level Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah, next week we'll see what you guys got on Level Up, and that means we're about halfway through Ruin Cloud, which I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about our upgrades, and we'll get back into this adventure. I can't wait to get through this building. I thank you guys for playing with me, and once again, a happy birthday, Miles.
Well, thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Miles.
Happy
I got
birthday,
you.
Miles.
A level up. Enjoy that. That one's for free. Thank you guys for playing with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody.